riverside.
Where?
Down by the riverside.
Where?
Down by the riverside.
Gonna lay down
My sword and shield. Down by the riverside.
down by the riverside. Why? I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I beg you, study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
Changes that, right? But the fact is, grammatically, you always have the small f, right? But the big F for peace is what we're about. We do enough howling at the winds and protest. Just like everybody here, we get angry, we get upset. But and the bottom line is, we try to work for peace. And many of the events that we go to, that we sponsor, we ring bells, we do things that bring about a solemn feeling of peace, and that's what we're aiming for, and that's what we go for.
They made it to Honolulu and resupplied and headed to the Marshall Islands, and the Coast Guard cutter brought him back, and they put him in jail. And that jailing it sparked a new anti-nuclear movement that brought ultimately about the signing of the 1963 Nuclear Test Ban Treaty.
So friends, it's easy to feel powerless in the midst of all that is broken in our world right now. If we look at what we alone can do in the face of the crisis at hand, things feel hopeless. But history teaches us that change is possible when we cultivate connections with one another and work toward a shared vision. That's why the next 12 days are so important. The 12 days free from violence events are an opportunity to be inspired by people and organizations dedicated to creating a Twin Cities that is free from violence. 12 days free from violence reminds us that we are not alone in our belief that a different world is possible. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people working to build a safe and healthy Twin Cities where we can all thrive. Now is the perfect chance for us to get to know one another at a deeper level and to find ways in which we can build power together. Friends for Nonviolent World, FNVW, vision is of a world free from violence and the threat of violence. We were founded by local Quaker community 41 years ago and have run a variety of peace and justice programs over the decades. Today we champion nonviolence through Everyday Nonviolence podcasts, our Alternatives to Violence project workshops, which are offered in prisons, jails, and community, and a week-long intergenerational peace-themed summer camp called People Camp. FNVW is dedicated to building a deeper collaborative partnership with other groups and organizations in the Twin Cities, and we are excited to connect with as many of you as possible in the days and months ahead. Violence prevention is a huge need in the Twin Cities, and there are many ways to be the change that we wish to see. FNVW is a volunteer-based organization. FNVW volunteers come from many different backgrounds, life experiences, each using their own unique skills and passions to champion nonviolence in our community. There's a place for you at FNVW if you're interested in being part of our work. And we have a website at fnvw.org where you can learn more. And if you'd like to participate in one of our Alternatives to Violence workshops, that's AVP, you can look at our website at fnvw.org/AVP and find out more information. And I'd like to leave you with the words of social justice facilitator and healer Adrienne Marie Brown. Connection is the most important thing to cultivate in the face of hopelessness. We don't want to cling to outmoded paradigms. We want to cling to each other and shift the paradigms. Thank you to Twin Cities Nonviolent for bringing us together for these 12 days free from violence.
Greetings, everybody. I'm sure glad you're here. Thanks for coming, and thanks for presenting that great music for us. It really got us in the spirit, and we're excited. We're excited and
It's the speaker there.
joyful to be doing this mission this mission of creating an environment in which the Twin Cities can be free from violence. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. I had the pleasure of, for 45 years, teaching in other countries of the world. And I came back after 45 years to Minneapolis and St. Paul, and people said, "What are you going to do now?" And I said, "I'm going to create an environment in the Twin Cities that is free from violence." And they laughed. They laughed. They laughed and they giggled. And what were they laughing at? They said, "You live in La La Land. You'll never be able to do that." And, you know, if they believe it, they're right.
Yeah.
Because you only do what you believe you can do. And I believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy that if you really believe you can make a difference, you can change the world. We'll do it. And that's what we're going to do. And the way we're doing it is we're following the latest technology and change management, which is called appreciative inquiry. And it's based on the 4 Ds. The first D is discovery. So we spend time discovering all the wonderful organizations in the Twin Cities that are making a difference and making this a good place to be, like Nonviolent Peace Force and Friends of Nonviolence, and the Veterans for Peace, and Emerge, and Wham, who's been here on this bridge for over 20 years, every Wednesday. From climate. Yes, in the hot heat and in the cold. The Wham people have been here demonstrating against war, against violence. And so here we found there were 65 to 70 organizations in the Twin Cities that are working to create an environment in which this is a great place to live.
Yeah.
Okay? And so then we moved to the second D, which was to dream. And we began to dream about what would it look like if the Twin Cities was free from violence.
Yeah.
And then we moved to the third D, which was design, which the corporate people call strategic planning. And we began to make a plan. And these 12 days free from violence is part of the plan, where we bring together all these powerful organizations that are doing so much good in the Twin Cities, bringing them together to work together like we're doing these 12 days to make the place a peaceful place so people feel safe. And then we get to the fourth D, which is deliver.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now. These 12 days are the beginning of making a difference in which people will be safe. So that's what we're about, and we invite all of you to join us. We need your help. I learned very quickly as we started this process that Lone Rangers can't apply. People can't do it by yourself. The only way we can do it is get organized. And that's what this is about. We're getting organized. All these wonderful peace organizations working together, not competing with each other, but working together as one to make this a safe place to live. That's what we're about. Please join us.
Father Harry, a great big hug from all of us that have been touched by all of this and continue to be touched by it, and will continue to do this work. That is our promise. That is our promise.